Hi, my name is Prasanjit and I work for BMC Atrium Orchestrator product. Today, I would like to walk you through the concept of certificates in BAO and how you can generate and import CA-signed certificates in both Atrium SSO and BAO 7802. Let's get started. The video series will mainly be divided into two sections. The first part will be covering the general concept regarding certificates, difference between self-signed and CA-signed certificates, the most common key tool commands, and the certificate import sequence. In the subsequent videos, we'll do an end-to-end demo showing how to generate a CA-signed certificate and how to import the certificates in Atrium SSO, repository, CDP, HACDP, and OCP. There are two kinds of certificates, self-signed and CA-signed certificates, which are also known as trusted CA certificates. Although both of these offers encryption, the web browser community doesn't trust self-signed certificates and displays a warning message when accessing any website using self-signed certificates. On the other hand, trusted CA certificates along with offering encryption helps to increase the trust in identity, legitimacy, and security. Generally, trusted CA certificates are a must for e-commerce websites. A self-signed SSL certificate is generally issued with software that the user has and controls. This can be good for testing environments, but when a browser receives an SSL certificate it's looking for, it expects it to be issued by a party it trusts. If it receives an untrusted certificate, depending upon the browser, you may see some warning messages as shown in the screenshot. For browsers to trust a website, it needs to see an SSL certificate that's been verified by a trusted third party, in this case, a certificate authority. Trusted CA signed certificates is an SSL certificate that's been authenticated by one of the trusted CA authorities that are authorized to issue them. These CAs are trusted by the browsers for a reason. They meet all the requirements that have been set for issuing SSL certificates, and they have safeguards in place to mitigate misissuance and other sorts of fraudulent behavior. The most common certified authorities trusted by the browser community are Symantec, Thought, RapidSSL, GeoTrust, VeriSign, etc. These are some of the most common Java key tool commands used when working with certificates. The list contains commands for generating new certificates, printing the list of available certificates, deleting certificates, and even how to import and export certificates. During our demo, we'll see each of these commands in action. Now let's take a look at the certificate import sequence in BAO. Consider a scenario where we have 5 systems with ASSO, repository, CDP, HACDP, and OCP. For this setup, the trusted CA will provide 5 certificate chain for each system. Each certificate chain will contain a root CA certificate, an optional intermediate certificate, and a host system certificate. The very first step is to import the certificate chain as per individual host machines in the BAO components key store the system is running. So import the ASSO's CA certificate into ASSO keystore.p12 and CSR p12 file. Repository server CA certificates go into repositories key store, so on and so forth. Repeat the steps for all the BAO components. Now, since the repositories key store already has the repository cert chain, we need to import either the complete certificate chain for repository or the individual root CA and intermediate certificates in repositories trust store, that is the CA-cert file. Lastly, perform the repository agent re-registration in Atrium SSO. In case of CDP, since during communication CDP will act as a client for repository, we need to import the certificate chain for repository into CDP's trust store, that is CA-certs and JSSC CA-certs file. Then perform the CDP agent re-registration in Atrium SSO. For HACDP, since HACDP communicates with both repository and CDP, we need to first import the certificate chain for repository into HACDP's CA-cert and JSSC CA-cert. And then we also need to import the CDP certificate chain into HACDP's trust store. Lastly, perform the HACDP agent re-registration in Atrium SSO. In case of OCP, we need to import the complete certificate chain for CDP and HACDP into OCP's CA-cert and JSSC CA-cert file, followed by OCP agent re-registration in Atrium SSO. I hope you enjoyed this video and are now familiar with the certificate import sequence in BAO. In the next part of the video series, we'll do a demo on how to generate and import CA certificates in both Atrium SSO and BAO platform.